Hi, everybody. Welcome to ACI 4, Class 2, and it will be a pretty short class, but one of the most important probably in ACI 18. I know every class we say the same thing, that this is the most important, but believe it or not, this is like the next brick that will help you to build, the building. And I think almost every brick is crucial, right? You don't want to have a house with holes in your walls. So please sit up straight, close your eyes, and think about your motivation. If you are a student or a volunteer, a translator, whatever you are doing now, listening to this class, think about your motivation. Why are you here? What pushed you to come to these teachings? What was the major issue, the major problem that led to this class? And now think, what do you think can help ultimately your problems? Will help you to resolve all these problems. And in these teachings, you can do it only if you study how this whole reality works, and use this wisdom to change your life. If you do not believe that you should just give up on the reality, which would make sense if things are random or depend on somebody else, like a being that is deciding everything. If you believe that you can influence this reality, your own life, other people, then make a decision that you will use this knowledge and this wisdom to apply in your own life. And make a wish that this wisdom that you listen to would help you to help every living being. Even if you do not know how, you will do it. Open your eyes and let's do the class. So, class 2 is about levels of reality. Let's remember where we are. ACI 1 was an overview of the whole path, right? What will happen to you, why to do this, what are the main ideas that will help you. ACI 2 was about what is actually working in this reality, what works, what does work. Like if I go to a doctor and I get a treatment from the doctor, like does the ingredient work in the pill that I'm taking or something else? Like why some people they are born in wealthy families and wealthy countries, other people are born in poorer families, poor countries, why some women they get married and are happy in their relationship, or men, why other people are not happy, cannot find their partner, like what will help to solve all these problems, right? Then ACI 3 was really how to apply this knowledge of the nature of reality to really change it, right? And why you need to meditate. And now it looks like it's all random, like this thing, then this thing, then this thing, then now logic, really. And there is the reason behind every single course Geshe Michael created. And it will look like first probably almost 10 courses for you, as every next course is something totally different from what you were learning before. But actually, all of these all these courses are different puzzles of the same picture. And at the end of 18 ACI courses, what will happen to you is what happened to me after I graduated from my medical school. Out of a sudden, all these different pieces of information, different disciplines like anatomy or biochemistry, histology, pathological anatomy, microbiology, they all started to come together, neuroscience or like therapy, surgery, they all come together, and you have this almost 3D model of a human being in your head, right? So the same will happen with you with ACI courses, because at the end of 18 ACI courses, you will have a good idea how the path really works, and all the scattered pieces will come to a three-dimensional kind of model of this path. And it is extremely beautiful, because you will have this feeling that every single phrase in the teachings had meaning. There was nothing extra and nothing missing. So, and logic is the most important, because it will be the basis of you making progress on this path. And I love it because it is close to science I'm coming from. And actually, you can be a real scientist if you study logic and use it. For what science is actually studying? Science studies phenomena, right? So it observes the reality and tries to figure what are relationship between the phenomena in the reality. Like people in ancient times, they would be just observing, like famous experiments of Newton with an apple and other stuff. So they were observing and trying to draw conclusions. And actually, we are doing here the same thing. There are obvious things, phenomena, right, that we can observe. And there are things that we cannot observe. And I think we can start the slides. And for the first type, for things that are evident, like for example, it will be the first level of reality. Evident things are stuff that have color, shape, things that sounds or something you can touch, the feeling when you touch something, right? Basically, it's a perception, something that you can perceive with your 5 sense organs. Remember from the Heart Sutra, nose, ears, eyes, nose, ears, what else? Smell, touch, and taste, right? So, and these 5 plus thoughts, these are things that you can perceive directly. And this is the first level of reality, evident reality or obvious reality. We also call it deceptive reality. Why it is direct, or because you do not have to use anything else except your direct experience. If you can see, smell, hear, touch, have a taste of something, or perception of your thought in your mind, not the fact that this thought is correct, but the perception of it, the fact that it exists and you can detect it, you can become aware of this thought, this thought. This is the first level of reality, obvious objects like a pen, or we will say the pen, right? Because this is something that we can directly see. Or like the microphone, like the computer, like 2 ladies in front of me helping me today with the class in our office. So this is pretty obvious, right? Then we have another level of reality. And by the way, in Tibetan, it was ngungyur, evident reality. Mm-hmm. The second level is kokyur, hidden reality. It is not something that we can detect with our sense organs. And I think you can imagine how many things we cannot detect with our sense organs, like 90% probably, maybe more. Actually, I think much more, right? Because they say that we can perceive even things that can be detected otherwise, not with the human's eye. We perceive like 0 to 35% of the reality that can be detected somehow with other things. So not much. Other things we deduce. How you use this deduction, when you have to draw conclusions. For example, I can show you something like this pen, and then I can hide it behind my back. And now you cannot see anything behind my back, right? But you still think that the pen is there because you didn't see me moving and you didn't hear any noise of me dropping, of potentially me dropping the pen, right? So already as soon as you cannot see the object, you start to use your logic. You're deducing that it's there. And we use it everywhere. So it's not only that there is a reality level that is hidden. We use this for many, many things that are not directly perceived, right? So what else can be hidden from us? For example, emptiness, right? When I teach the pen, like the fact that the pen does not come from itself, but comes from me, from the Papia, right? This is how we teach the pen, like the fact that people and animals and other beings, they see different things in the same shape and form, like the pen or a chewing toy. Indirectly says that it cannot come from itself, right? And then you can use your logic to deduce that this object is not coming from itself, right? This is how we are doing it. And then if it is not coming from itself, then it must come from me. And emptiness is a hidden reality for us, right? What else can be an example of hidden reality? An impermanence of a person, right? You do not see directly that somebody is impermanent, like, for example, changing moment to moment, right? But you can deduce. We use thoughts and reasoning to come to a conclusion for any object that we cannot see. We have one more level of reality, and it is called things that are deeply hidden. For example, the subtle work of karma is deeply hidden. It means that nobody, a human being, let's put it this way, cannot see how karma works, and also cannot prove this subtle work of karma. There is no way that you can logically prove that this object or this event comes from that seed, because it is deeply this reality is deeply hidden. So if you can prove emptiness, for example, you cannot prove karma. You cannot prove, exact karmic correlation, right? That this gives that. You can only rely on something else about karma. And this deeply hidden reality is called Shinto Kokyu. Very important to understand it, right? Because some people will tell you that they can prove you something about these karmic correlations. Nobody can prove unless they are enlightened beings. And we will talk about it in future, later on in this class. So now I will invite you to close your eyes and think about one thing that you cannot really see with your eyes, but you are sure about. I don't know, let me give you a subject. Think about money. Like, I have money because, or I don't have money because. And by the way, you should continue because I have money because I, and try to continue the sentence. And it will be your first assertion. You're ready for a debate. For example, I have money because I work hard, right? Or because I have a job. So open your eyes. I will not be criticizing your reasoning, okay? We will do it next time. But this may be correct, may be incorrect, because you don't know if the logic that you are using, your reasoning that you are using in this assertion is a good reasoning. Does it prove anything? Or you think it does, but it doesn't. And we use this logic everywhere. we use reasoning for most of the things that we have in our life. And if you can make a good assertion, if the reasoning will be correct, the airtight, they call it, the correct reasoning, then your logic or your deduction, your conclusion is as good as you would see it with your own eyes, perceive it directly. And if your logic is corrupt, then all the conclusions will be corrupt. The issue with the conclusions that they are thoughts that you perceive in your mind, and the object may not exist at all. You think about, for example, self-existence of this pen. The object does not exist, but because it's a thought in my mind, it's an idea that I can have in my mind, the idea has bad consequences because I use this idea to make decisions, to work with people, to move in my life. So most of times that we have are not something that we can see, hear, etc., and we constantly draw conclusions. Would be nice to make sure that those conclusions are correct. Okay, then an interesting question. Can anybody see more than one level of reality? Like, can something exist actually at more than one level of these realities? And the answer is yes, because you can perceive different objects through these three different levels of reality, and they will look in different ways to beings that are perceiving them. For example, you can show as, by the way, thank you to our designers, to Alina and the team who helped with the PPTs. They are just beautiful. So you can show a pen to a blind person, the same object, right? You're showing to different beings, and a blind person will not see it. For a blind person, an object that we think should be an obvious, evident reality, right, belongs to a hidden reality because of absence of this sense awareness. And for a human who is not blind, it will be an obvious reality. And for an enlightened being will see also the subtle work of karma, the reason why I see the pen. So they will see actually what action led directly to the fact that I perceive in this way, this color and shape. Okay. One object can exist through all three levels of reality. Then I was thinking, when I was studying this class, I had questions like, can the same person move through these three levels of reality? Think about it. Can you, perceive something that you did not perceive before? And I'm thinking about Tibetan language, right? We told you that we studied Tibetan right now. And I remember first time I heard Tibetan, and it was blah, 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 blah. I could not detect anything. Tibetan, forget about Tibetan. English. Believe me, I did not speak the language when I was 5 or 6. I did not speak Ukrainian, to be honest, because my family was Russian speaking, and I learned it later. This is my second native language, but I didn't speak any Ukrainian before I was like 13, I did, but not much, right? And then I really started to study, and now my Ukrainian is as good as Russian, and English is the third one, French is the fourth one, and Tibetan is the last. Okay, not Tibetan is not the last one. Chinese, my Chinese is worse than my Tibetan. So if you study languages, you know that it's like a miracle, right? You completely have no idea about the language. And I remember me seeing Tibetan letters for the first time. Like, what? And it's funny because the habits are so strong in my mind. Like I can read almost any Tibetan text by now. But the first impression I have when I see the page with just plain Tibetan, no English, is like, whoa, I cannot read it, and I can, but I still have this first impression, oh, I cannot read it. So one person, the same person, can also move through these different levels of reality. Then I would like really you to think about something practical, like why it is important to understand how often we draw these conclusions on things that we really don't know. I mean, in the first class, we finished with the quote, right? That only an enlightened being can judge other people because they can read their minds and see the intentions, the subtleties of motivation, etc. And I cannot judge another person if I cannot do the same. Sorry. So, but unfortunately, I do all day long. I think I know what other people are thinking. I think I know what they are doing. And I think I know what is their motivation. I think I know what they see. I mean, if you will be honest to yourself, I don't know what color do we have here. Like, this is actually white. I don't know how you see it. Okay, right here behind me. It's actually white. Are you sure that other people see the same white you see? So, and if you are aware of this incapacity to really judge something beyond your thoughts and perceptions, then your life changes, right? You don't make mistakes thinking instead of other people. And a very important disclaimer: I don't say that you cannot judge what you see. Of course you do, but what is the conclusion of what you see, right? So was it another person's motivation or something else, right? Imagine a story. I don't know, maybe you had a very similar one. You can think about your situation. I remember we had one guy in the office when I was working for a big pharmaceutical company who would never be really friendly. And I was thinking he just hates me, like because I come and then he never says hello. And I was thinking, okay, he has something, it is something personal. And then in many years, I figured that the guy just was autistic, and it was difficult for him to see many people. He was quite functional, but he would prefer, keep his space, and was not at all about me, right? And we are drawing so many conclusions like that, based on absolutely nothing, based on the air. But do you think that my perception and what I was doing with this perception didn't do anything? Like, imagine I'm coming to the office every day. I see the same guy, and he irritates me every time, right? And I have every time, like, do you think it doesn't plant any seeds? I mean, of course it does. And then do you want to have the seeds? It's all logic, right? All logic. No, I don't want to have the seeds. Then next question, is it true what I think about him? No, it's not true. Can I think something else? Anyway, what I think, I cannot confirm it and it is harmful. Yeah. Maybe better I will think something that I cannot confirm, but it will be useful. For example, you can think about this guy as please don't think that I'm saying stupid things. It's actually very serious. You can think about him as about somebody who does something amazing and strictly secret. And he does it, I don't know, all night long. He's exhausted. This is why he's sitting and, in the corner and does not talk to anybody. And I can admire his actions. I mean, totally potential, right? But my admiration and my good feelings, they will also plant seeds. And the seeds that will be planted are real and will ripen. So it's just an example. And let's again emphasize what we want to prove in hidden as facts from hidden reality or something else. Like, we want to prove emptiness because as of today we cannot see it directly. I mean, unless you are Aryas and Bodhisattvas of one of 10 bhumis and enlightened beings. If you are a human, you didn't see emptiness directly, right? And you need thousands of proofs of emptiness, because if you can really prove it, it is the same as if you would see it with your own eyes. It will function for you, this idea, and you will be able to change your life even you didn't have the experience yet, just based on logic. It's like a chess play when you know the moves, potential moves in advance, right? If you'll use logic, it is same. You know in advance what will happen. Then you needed to prove nirvana. I mean, isn't it a great state when you stopped all your pain? I mean, it's not that bad things happen. Nothing bad can happen anymore. I mean, there is a transition period, right? When it also depends on the school we are in when we talk about these things. But let's bluntly imagine that we are talking just about nirvana. So you don't have capacity to be angry, irritated, bored, scared, sad, upset, guilty. I mean, you just are incapable of negative emotions. Great thing to have, right? Because what's left is actually pure joy and happiness. And you need to prove that it exists, right? You need to be sure that you can get there. I mean, you should not go anywhere if you are not sure where it leads and that the path is real. Enlightenment beings, do they exist? You need tools to prove to yourself that it does. Otherwise, where are you going? Maybe you're going to the moon and you did not make sure that the moon exists, then, and you're already in a spaceship, right? Would be good to have some certainty about the place you're going. So, and if yes, if it does, if emptiness is true, if nirvana exists and reachable, right? If enlightenment exists, then I want to somebody, or myself to myself, somebody to prove me that I can actually walk these steps and reach it. Is it actually reachable? Can I prove it to myself? So this is why we use this logic, and believe it or not, this is what we are doing in this and next classes. Can we go to the next slide? Okay, so basically, I think logically you already could guess that this is why we have two main types of valid perception. And be careful, valid does not necessarily mean correct. It means that based on the data you have in some of the schools, and you will get all the details, don't worry. In some of the schools, valid does not mean correct. It means that you draw the conclusion based on the data you have. You may not have all the data, right? So two valid perceptions. One is direct perception, nunsum tema, or nungyur, and this is used to this evident reality that can be perceived by your six sense awarenesses. 5 are sense organs and thoughts, right? Perception of your awareness of your thoughts. Direct means you do not rely on logic. You just like what? Like I see it, and I don't have you to prove me that this is a pen, because this is something I can see with my eyes. By the way, when you will study logic and debates, I mean, when you will use logic to debate, sense organs is the only thing that you cannot argue about with another person, because you cannot confirm what they are seeing, listening, hearing, etc., right? You cannot really be at this point as a human being, you cannot be really in their skin or in their shoes, we say, right? So this is direct perception. Everything else is either we cannot really perceive, or we can use deductive valid perception. So use logic to perceive hidden or deeply hidden object, deductive valid perception. And it is called jepaktema. And the hidden objects or hidden reality is kokyur, and deeply hidden shintu kokyur. Let me see if I missed anything. No, it's good. And it is important to draw correct conclusions, right? It does not automatically mean if you have logic, every person has logic. It is illogical to say there are people that do not have logic, because logic is the way our mind functions. The issue is that you can be good or bad in drawing these conclusions, because you perceive the same reality. Oh, okay. Let's put it in different words. Imagine Einstein. He was perceiving basically the same reality that other people were perceiving. But he was able to draw completely different conclusions, right? Because of how sharp his mind was. He took the same reality, and he made all these cool theories that are still amazing about the reality. So in this way, you can know about logic and be a normal human being, or you can study this logic and gradually become an Einstein. And your ability to see with your third eye of your logic through the things that you cannot really perceive with your sense powers will become better and better. You will be better and better in this. It looks like logic, boring. You will be better and better because you will study how your mind functions and also how you allow dysfunctions to happen. I mean, how you kind of close your eyes to the facts that what you think is true may not be true. Like this case with my colleague who just was autistic, and I was thinking he is just evil. Or, for example, yesterday we went to opera with Bill and I. We have seen Rigoletto. Took it to show to you, and this is the main character, Rigoletto, who was a jester, a clone, and he's I have medical musical education also. I was attending for 6 years musical school. I didn't know at all the story. I mean, I knew the opera. Verdi is the composer, right? I knew it's famous. I could sing some arias from this opera. I didn't know the story, and the story actually is amazing, and it is about logic. Strange enough, right? And about karma, because this guy, it's interesting. He is in black and on the red background, and black usually symbolizes ignorance, and red is often related to anger, some kind of stuff. And this is exactly what it was about. He was a person who had a master, his duke, and Duke was horrible with women. He was changing them like every couple of days, was really not serious about these affairs. And and this guy, who was his servant, basically, he had his public life and hidden life. And in public life, he was provoking people, was really nasty with them, was helping his master to be dishonest with women. So you can imagine seeds he was creating, right? Then the day come, and he had his private life. He had his daughter, very beautiful, very young. Her mom died like long time ago, and he was taking care of her, but because of his social image, did not want to show to anybody because he was thinking, okay, they will hurt her. And guess what happens? The Duke sees by chance his daughter, and she falls in love with him. The Duke says, oh my God, love you so much, we will get married, blah, blah, blah. She believes, keeps secret from her father, and people who were deceived by and laughed at by this jester, by the clone, Rigoletto, they decide to steal his daughter from him. They were thinking that she is not actually his daughter, but his lover. So they steal her, bring to the Duke, and then, of course, everything happens, right? So she stays with the Duke, and he realizes and he decides to kill the Duke. So first he was messing around and helping the Duke to create all this stories with women, all these affairs, and his daughter suffered, right? Then he decides he does not get that maybe I should stop it, right? Maybe I suffered enough, and I'm creating these seeds for my close family, right? He thinks, okay, the Duke is evil, and I need to kill him to stop this altogether. He finds a sword man who is happy to kill for money, gives him 50% in advance, and the man invites the Duke to his house because he has this swordman. The killer has a sister who was kind of seducing, strangers, and then it was easy for him to kill. The sister falls in love with the Duke because he's attractive and talkative, and and sings very nicely in the opera. So, and the sister talks him out of killing the Duke. She says, no, he's young, he's handsome, I love him, kill somebody else. And meanwhile, the daughter of this jester, of Rigoletto, she has to escape. She already lost her honor, lost her everything, but Rigoletto wants to hide her in another city, and he says, you walk as a man to another city. You change your appearance and you go to Verona. And she knocks at the door of these people, this killer and his sister. And the sister says, yeah, okay, I understand. You took already the money. Then kill the first person who will knock at the door. And he killed her instead of the Duke and gives the body to the clown, to the jester, to Rigoletto, to drop in water. And in the middle of the river, he decides to open the savannah, and he sees that it's his daughter. And it's horrible, very beautiful. The story is just horrible, but very powerful, because the only person who was really evil there, who was thinking to, who was hating, who wanted to kill, right, if something goes wrong, was Rigoletto, actually. Ignorance and anger, right? Black and red. And Duke, yeah, he was not a nice guy, but he was never thinking to kill anybody at the very least. So probably he will have issues in his relationship later on, but definitely he did not deserve to be dead. So, and this is how, it's an extreme example, but actually this is how we think. We think that if we will change something physically in this reality, then it will work. But the only thing that we should work on is our seeds, right? What we plant. And it does not mean that you should not stop bad behavior, or you should go to your doctor if you are sick. You should try to improve your relationship with your husband, and not just doing something and waiting for something to change. You should do all the things that you think will work, because these are also your seeds, right? If you are not doing things that you think should work, then you're planting opposite seeds that you basically ignore opportunities to be healed or to improve your relationship. If you're serious, you should do both. Do things that you think will help and plant seeds. Ooh, okay. That was I don't know. Can we show a picture? We were dressed up really nicely yesterday. I was thinking maybe we can see we can have a picture. Okay, we have. You will see us in our outfits yesterday because Bill, he loves to dress up and he loves tuxedos and stuff like that. So I bet we will be going because we had to buy this summer some outfits for the weddings. So we have to go to operas now, you see. Okay. So let me see where I was. Oh, here is the picture coming, us dressed up for the opera. Okay. So let's go to the next question. And you probably forgot because it was a long time ago, yesterday, but the very first book was by Master Dignaga, and it was commentary on valid perception. And then it was Master Dharmakirti's commentary on it, right? And actually compendium, right? So, and this very old text of Master Dignaga has an opening statement. Every Buddhist book has an opening statement, and actually, I was previously I was like, okay, that's not interesting. I will go to the main stuff, And now I really read these opening statements because usually they have some secret in it. Something is hidden, and also you can judge about the subject of the book because the author is bowing down to some holy beings, and depending on the subject, they will bow to different holy beings. Like if they bow down to Manjushri, okay, that will be the book about emptiness, probably, maybe logic. If they bow down to, I don't know, who else, Maitreya will be probably about Bodhisattva something, activities, right? So it depends on the subject. And here the opening actually is pretty sexy because it is written, I bow down to the one who turned correct, who helps all beings, the teacher, the one who went to bliss, and to our protector. Це маргюр патрола пен шепа, тун падеше кьопла чак целло. And it is called chuja, by the way, in Tibetan, this part where they bow down. And so what does this mean? It's pretty strange, right? Someone who turned correct, then helps all beings, the teacher, the one who went to bliss, and our protector. And honestly, these are coded qualities of an enlightened beings. We will talk more about it during next classes. Very cool subject. Because first, do I want to become this being, right? This is the path to become this being. Like, do I want to buy it on the first place? And also, what is coded here is the path, how you become it. It does not look like that, but believe me, you will hear it in the next classes. So the cool thing here in the very first phrase is the one who turned correct. And it means that he wasn't before, right? It means he bows down here to the Buddha, right? And he says not that he was like evergreen Buddha. He was a normal being, a human, and he became correct. Very good news if you think that you want to become it. And he lists the 5 major elements of an enlightened being, or the 5 major elements of this statement are: first, he became a person with valid perception. I mean, he has always correct perception. By the way, very interesting that his perception is not based on memories. He does not rely on memories at all. An enlightened being, at the same time, has access to every single moment and every single spot of reality. And they have very interesting things going on with their sense organs, because they can see not only with their eyes, but with other parts of their bodies also. It's not like they do not function like humans at all. And it is called Tsema, somebody who has this correct perception. And not only valid in this case, but also correct. His perception is correct, not only valid. The second part is he wants to help every living being. So he has this great compassion that actually makes him automatically help every living being. Long story, lots of details after. Third thing, he is the teacher. I mean, he wants to help every living being, he teaches them. This is what he can do. He or she, by the way, it's another subject. But an enlightened being seem to have gender, but actually they can turn them, they possess both genders, to put it shortly. Those who gone to bliss. So they, Buddhas, they are in total bliss. They stopped all mental afflictions, and the thing that left is bliss. So they experience it, right? And they were not like that before. And they reached the point they experienced this bliss. And he's our protector. So this is the last question of this class. I think I can take a couple questions, and if you don't have questions, then we will see each other in 1 week on Saturday, same time, 7 p.m. European time, 8 p.m. Kiev time, and in Chicago it will be 12 p.m. So Arizona, it's 10 a.m. If you have questions, you can write down right now. And I just want to summarize what we have done today. You have learned about different levels of reality, and about the fact that different levels can be perceived by using different means. And some of levels are unreachable for humans, like, for example, subtle work of karma. We cannot see it, and we cannot use our logic. We have to rely on statements of enlightened beings that they have left. And we have them. For example, there is a book, All Kinds of Karma. It's a sutra. where Buddha Shakyamuni himself,
Я тебя просила
where Buddha Shakyamuni himself describes karmic correlations. And there are also other books. It is available in Diamond Cutter Press in English as an ebook so far, or if you are subscribed to Schwanz and Tower, this book will come for you, one of the first ones. To subscribers, they print these books and they provide in English. In Ukrainian, we have published recently. It does exist in Ukrainian. And in Russian, the publishing house AST also is selling under slightly another name, but it does exist. So this is the book where you can see the karmic correlations. There are some more sutras, but basically this is where you can find it. And there are different levels of reality. For some of them, you need to use logic to see them with your eyes of your logic. And then you can trust if you really use the airtight logic to prove something. Most of problems we have are because we have lousy deduction capacities and we draw incorrect conclusions. And you don't have to be that way. I don't have to be that way. We can study and become Einsteins in logic. And then we have a chance that is 100% if you walk the path, that you will become Tsema Kiebu, a person who became correct, who acquired the correct perception and correct, valid, accurate perception, right? Okay. Oh, thank you very much. You have the links. Maybe you wanted the links so you can have them in your chat, and we will put these links in your Telegram chats and maybe in YouTube also, right? In the comments. And on the platform, you will have all these links. So please don't worry. Thank you for coming. Close your eyes. Not yet. Okay. Close your eyes and think about the fact that you spent 1 hour today. It was fast. To study this material. And today is not difficult. There will be a bit more of complexity later on. And dedicate every moment that you spend here to understand these things better and to practice better, to become this Tsema Kiebu, a person who became totally correct, who is helping living beings, all living beings, who is teaching, who is protecting, who is in bliss, and all of that. Go back to your breathing, open your eyes, have a great day or rest of the day, and see you on Saturday. Thank you, all the translators, all the students, all the technical specialists, ACI team, all the volunteers. Thank you so much. Without you, we cannot do any classes. See you. Bye.